On the phone today, a very special guest. He heads up the Life Issues Institute. We've heard from Brad Mattis a number of times. We air his short feature, Life Issues, 60-second radio feature, various times throughout the week on KCIS. Got Brad Mattis on the phone. Hi, Brad.
Hi, Mark.
Good to have you on the phone once again. I see you at National Religious Broadcasters Conventions on occasion. Been a while since I've seen you in person, but it's good to have you on the phone and good to hear about a new project that you have going on, The Faces of Roe. It's a radio special that we'll be hearing this weekend. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But tell us a little bit about this current effort with this radio special.
Sure. It's part of a 3-month special educational project, which is what Life Issues Institute does, is provide educational resources. Mark, a lot of the country is focused on the Supreme Court and abortion because there's a Dobbs late-term abortion case that they are considering and will make public their ruling toward the end of June. Now, what this does is it ends late-term abortion. When a baby reaches the age of 15 weeks in the womb, they would be protected in Mississippi should the court rule this constitutional. It is a direct, in-your-face against Roe v. Wade, which allows abortion throughout pregnancy for any reason. We are very confident that the court will uphold this law based upon the oral arguments that we heard last December. And we are cautiously optimistic that the court will use this opportunity just to reverse Roe v. Wade entirely, which will absolutely change the landscape of abortion in America.
Did you ever think that this was going to be able to happen, overturning Roe v. Wade?
Well, I've been working 46 years toward that goal since I was a teenager, so we did expect that to happen. Of course, it's in God's time, and what this will not do is end abortion throughout America. If the Supreme Court reverses Roe, that means all of the states, including yours, will have the opportunity to pass common sense protections for the woman and her baby. Many people feel that that is where this decision should be made in a state legislature and not by a Supreme Court that just deems that unborn babies are nothing more than chattel to be disposed of at will.
Well, I know Washington State has had some of the most liberal approaches to abortion. Hasn't it been like one of the first to legalize abortion? I believe you'd probably know.
Yes, it was one of the leading states to do so. But you know, in this day and age when we have ultrasound, the window to the womb, and all kinds of medical advances, viability, the ability to sustain life outside the womb is now at the earliest 22 weeks, which is almost halfway through a pregnancy. It really changes the way we look at abortion. And, of course, state legislatures are more accountable to their constituency than they are on the congressional level. So this will be an opportunity for Washington to see what they can do, perhaps make some advancements, perhaps ending the brutal late-term abortion. And that's why we believe the timing of this program is so very important, because we want to expose the radical laws that America has on abortion. Most people think it's only legal during the first 3 months, and it's not. The court expressly legalized abortion until birth.
Yeah, it's just a tragedy, and I guess and I think what is so strange to me when I watch TV coverage of this makes it sound like the whole country is pro-choice, but really it's kind of half and half, isn't it? About half the country is pro-life and half the country is pro-choice, but they make it sound like it's all pro-choice.
They do it that, and about half and half identify with pro-choice and pro-life. But here's where the difference comes in. When you start peeling back that onion and asking about specific questions, a whopping 80% of Americans oppose abortion in the third trimester. And I think this is where Washington has an opportunity to save some lives by ending abortion, say, in the third trimester. when you talk about funding of it with your tax dollars, a majority of Americans, about 58%, are opposed to that. Many people, about 71%, generally feel that abortion should be limited to the first trimester of pregnancy. They want protections for the women who take the dangerous chemical abortion pills. They want parents to be involved when their minor daughter is having a surgical abortion, something that is a threat to her life, her health, and can never be reversed.
Yeah, to me, that's one of the main real oversteps is the way young people are able to get abortions without their parents ever finding out.
Yes, in school, they need your written permission to take a Tylenol, or they need your permission to have their ears pierced, but they can go into Planned Parenthood, have a surgical abortion without the parents' knowledge or consent.
Yeah, well, we're hoping to turn the tide on this, at least get back to some common sense on this. What if abortions were completely outlawed in a state? Then what would that mean? If people who got an abortion then would go to jail, or what are the ramifications that if abortion was totally illegal?
Well, we are not supporting any legislation that would penalize the mother. We see her as a victim. The penalty should go toward abortionists and whoever is providing that abortion. So, yes, we do not want women to be victimized, again, with a penalty. And, we want women to understand that without access to abortion, she will not be abandoned by society. We have 2,400 and growing pregnancy help centers around the country that provide free services. And those services they're providing, it really is expanding. A case in point that we are going to showcase in this radio special is called Her Plan. And they are weaving together a safety net for women state by state with a load of resources to direct her to. And this includes resources during pregnancy, through the birth, and well after, a couple years after. It may involve legal support, financial support, education, mentoring, job training. A wide variety of resources now are going to be available to women who desperately need them when they're facing an unexpected pregnancy.
So again, remind us, when is the Supreme Court going to be deciding this case?
We expect the Supreme Court will make its ruling public probably the last few days of June. In past experience has shown us that they literally release their ruling as they're catching planes to other countries for their summer vacation, so they want to get out of town. And that's been pretty consistent over the years. We really need everybody to be praying for those justices because we know the devil's in the details. Abortion's been one of his most effective tools over these past almost 5 decades, and he's not going down without a fight. So we have to make sure and be praying that the Supreme Court justices will rule with compassion and justice.
Well, it's interesting that whenever there's a new Supreme Court nominee put forward, it seems like that's the main people that come out, pro or con, is the person's position on this one issue. So it's such a divisive issue, but we need to pray for life and a common sense approach to life, and look forward to this radio special. It's coming up this weekend, Faces of Roe. You can hear it this Saturday at 10:30 in the morning, and again on Sunday at 8 in the morning. Faces of Roe. And what is a website where people can find out more about your ministry?
Well, they can go to facesofroe.com, facesofroe.com, and we have a plethora of research, resources, and information that you can access as well as share with others. You can educate yourself and then share that knowledge with others. So facesofroe.com, customized a web page just for this special.
Thank you so much for talking with us today, Brad Mattis, president of Life Issues Institute.
Thank you, Mark.